This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm Tim Daniel. I've been podcasting about the Reds for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds, who my guest is currently working for, and the Riverfront. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here tonight on the show. If you are just checking me out for the first time, please be sure to hit that notification button here on YouTube, where you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. And if you're doing it on your podcast app of choice, you can do that as well, where you can take us anywhere with you if you can't watch us on YouTube. On tonight's show, brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel, where your first $5 bet wins, you can get up to $150 in bonus bets. I'm going to be joined by my old co-host, Ben Brown. We're going to talk about couldn't pull off the sweep. The Yankees eventually were going to get theirs, right? It just felt inevitable. The taxing usage of the bullpen, I feel like maybe caught up to the Reds tonight. We're going to talk about that. And Ellie had 2 hits tonight, but I know the thing that a lot of people were going to talk about is the defensive decision-making there that let a run score. All of that and a whole lot more. And of course, I'm going to hear from you guys, the audience. But we're going to have some fun, even with a bad game. So let's get right to it, shall we?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Joining me tonight, my good friend, my lifelong friend, just about. I mean, actually, my adulthood at least. My former co-host. Those who have been following me for a long time know this man very well. You can check him out on Late Night Reds, part of the Riverfront, every Sunday night at 9 o'clock with Skylar Webker. This is my good pal, and now yours, Ben Brown.
How's it going, everybody? Good to be on Locked On with my boy Timmy Diesel, talking a little Reds. It's like old hat, my man.
Yeah. Should we, for those who did follow us for a long time, should we do the thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Hello, everybody.
What up, what up, what up? What's going on?
All right. So that was our old intro and our Late Night Reds days together. So Ben, obviously I knew I had to bring you on at some point to talk about a game. I wish it had been one where they won, but you know what? We'll take the series win, and I'm going to try to do my best to break down this game without overreacting, because obviously, big picture, you got a series win against the defending American League champions on your home field, and tonight just wasn't your night. And part of that is Max Fried is really good at throwing baseballs.
Yeah, and that's what it was, man. It was we got 2 games from a team that's really, really good in our house, which is what we wanted, right? I mean, we're trying to stack series, and that's what we did. We stacked a series against a really good team. We ran into a really good pitcher with a tired bullpen, and they got us. I mean, they're the Yankees. I mean, that lineup there is not going to be contained for too many games. And,
right.
You know, this game here, they were going to do what they needed to do to get a win and get out of here with a dub. So I got to take the hats off of them. I mean, they bounced back after kind of a gut-punching night for them last night, a great night for us. So they bounced back and do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, and even Monday night, they probably felt pretty good after the first inning, getting that solo shot from Judge, and the Reds just kind of running them off the field. So, and yeah, like you said, like last night, obviously being a gut punch, you knew they weren't going to be down long. It's just what they do. And on that note, too, I do think it's important we kind of discuss the Redlegs did not play very well tonight, per se. And I do think part of that's self-inflicted. I do think part of that is the Yankees are the Yankees. But just some decision-making throughout the process of the game I didn't really love. And obviously the offense just kind of been shut down. So you mentioned it. Max Fried just kind of being super good at baseball. I mean, just really good at his job. That's the whole reason the Yankees wouldn't got him. But offensively, 10 strikeouts as a team tonight. Rhys Hines 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Obviously, is going to jump out. I just feel like there's probably some stuff right there where, you know, you give them credit for sure, but also there were some things the Reds probably could have done a little better tonight, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things that kind of stuck out when you go back and look at it. A couple fielding things, some things the way they had attacked pitches. I mean, and that's not to take anything away from Fried, because he is good at what he does.
Right.
But I felt like, I felt like for sure we did not we weren't as patient that we had been earlier in the series. I felt like we're definitely attacking some not great pitches, and like you got to give them credit. You got to give the Yankees credit. I mean, they got a guy on the mound that came out and did his job what he's supposed to do, and hats off to him.
Yeah. So obviously, Yankee fans that were in attendance, they finally got to get their win tonight, and but like you said, like obviously tonight was disappointing, and
Mhm.
but normally I come into these games and they lose like this, and I am upset and I'm frustrated. My everyday heroes will tell you, but tonight it just kind of was like, not that I didn't want to win. Obviously, I certainly wanted to win, but it just kind of felt like it was like, okay, yeah, I could be mad, especially because Milwaukee won today against Pittsburgh, like Chase Skeens out of their game. But big picture is, dude, you got a series win on the Yankees, and a win today just would have been icing on the cake. But if you would have told us on Sunday, I mean, it's on Saturday after they blew that Cardinals game, that the Reds were going to take 2 or 3 from the Yankees on Monday, actually, I probably would have believed you, because the Reds are now, listen to this, 31-24 in the season against non-NL Central teams,
Which is insane. I mean,
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. But no, I totally agree with you. Would a sweep been nice? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you sweep the Yankees. I mean, you go into this next series and you got a lot of momentum. But I still think you have a lot of momentum because you were able to, you're riding momentum. You're still riding the Chase Burns momentum. You're still riding. Ellie's still hitting the ball well. So I mean, you got a lot of positives going out of this series that you just, you got to continue. And like we said, we're just trying to stack series. If you can get 2 out of 3 every series, you're going to be competitive throughout the season. So, you take 2 or 3 from the Yankees, I still feel pretty good. Would have been nice to sweep them, but 2 out of 3 to me against that caliber of a ball club, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, this is kind of goes up to, I was on Locked On today with Steve, filling in for Jeff, and the consistency thing. So like consistently winning series is great. But like tonight, 5 of your 10 strikeouts are from the bottom of the order.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rhys Hines inflates that with 3 of the 5, but
Mm-hmm.
and I know Espinal had a double, but it's these situations where it's like, it seems like the Reds are being carried by different parts of the order every night. And tonight
Mm-hmm.
it was Ellie at the top of the order, basically doing what he wanted to do, and then everyone else kind of just not being able to get anything done. Friedel had a night where he didn't get on base, which is few and far between.
You're right.
Matt McClain, I know this wasn't the best series for him, but I've really enjoyed how he's played throughout June. I'm not going to freak out over not having a good series against the Yankees.
Mm-mm.
And Spencer Steer had one of their 4 hits tonight too. But yeah, it just wasn't their night, man. So like I said, we'll get into the bullpen here in the next segment, but just kind of, like I said, hat tip to the Yankees. Brady Singer wasn't his best self tonight. I guess it's a big conversation. I mean, but if you had told us he was going to have anywhere he had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings, you probably feel good about that. But it's just, the Yankees are the Yankees, man. And like, I know they've been struggling for a bit now, but they're never down long. So
no, not at all. And that's the makeup of championship caliber teams, right? Like they're not gonna stay down long. They're gonna bounce back, and they're not gonna let 1 or 2 losses lead into 4 or 5 losses because they're the Yankees. I mean, that's what they do. They came out and they were able to get timely hitting tonight. They were able to get guys on base and move guys over, unlike they have been able to do in the other 2 games of this series. So they did what they had to do to get the leave on their get out day with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, in the next segment here, we're going to talk about the bullpen. And I feel like the bullpen's over usage really caught up to them tonight. Ben and I are going to dive into that and more right after this. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch Money, I realized just how much I was spending on fanatics. I love sports apparel. I love hats, jerseys, t-shirts, collectibles, you name it, I have to have it. But now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's Monarch Money, code LOCKEDONMLB for 50% off your first year. Guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them, but if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Ready. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rugiet's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. If the traditional options haven't worked, Rugiet might be the answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch. I love that it's completely online. Rugiet connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships you treatment discreetly to your door. You can even read real customer reviews on their site. It's helping a lot of people feel more confident and present in the moment. Head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB to get 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB for 15% off. Individual residual results may vary within prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are non-FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rugiet website for full safety information. Want to send a special shout out to my everydayers here on the Reds Postcast. It's so great to see you all each and every night, whether the Reds win or lose, or as we like to call, rain or shine. It's awesome to see you guys here. If you are just checking me out for the first time, please be sure to hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday. And while you're there, go to the Riverfront. Check out the Riverfront where I came from to come here. You can check out Seth Shaner and the crew on Fridays, and then Ben and Skyler on Sunday nights on Late Night Reds live. It's a really fun show, a really great interactive show. I started it, so I have to say those things, but that's okay. Let's get to when this game paper probably got out of control for the Redlegs, Ben.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think I have to go with Aaron Judge's double to make it 5-1 at the top of the sixth. Was probably when you realize this wasn't the Reds' night.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We got out of a couple jams there where we kept it close and we did some things, but once Judge hit that double, we kind of knew, yeah, that was it. That was a wrap for the Reds that evening. Aaron Judge does what Aaron Judge does. You know what I mean? Like, the guy is just phenomenal. So to watch him take at bats and see his approach, I just have more respect for him because, of course, we don't get to see him night after night. But watching him 3 games in a row and watching how he approaches every at bat and how he does those things, once he hit that double, it was clear to see. Yeah, the Reds were done, and you could kind of feel that in them as well. Like, they kind of knew, like, yeah, like we got 2 out of 3. Let's just get out of here and move on to the next series.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight, Ben, the bullpen probably. I was on with Steve today. The one thing we talked about is like they need a long outing for Brady Singer. They need Brady Singer to go probably 6 at minimum. He went 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't bad. I mean, 4 earned runs isn't bad, but wasn't what the Reds needed tonight. And then you kind of saw the way this bullpen's been used so much of late kind of come into full effect tonight, particularly Ingebeau. Ingebeau can't even get through the 6th inning, gives up 3 runs on 2/3 innings.
Yeah.
And I've been very hard on Ingebeau for a long time. I'm well aware of this, but I've also given credit when credit's deserved, and he has pitched well for most of the season. But tonight, it was just a night where, and like he was really good last night too. But tonight, Ingebeau probably should not have been in that situation.
No.
And I don't know, man. Maybe 4-1 is not necessarily as high leverage as I'm making it out to be, but I still feel like 3 runs is probably still too close for him to be in these situations when you're down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when they said he was warming up in the bullpen, I was kind of like, man, like dude, he's gone like 3 of the last 4 games. Like he's like, and to his credit, I mean, he probably still keeps asking for the ball, but like
Sure.
at some point you got to be like, man, like we got to look at the usage rate. And it's not saying we got a whole plethora of guys down there. I mean, it's, we've used all those guys. I mean, because you think about it, Lodolo only went 4 1/3.
Yeah.
Chase Burns only goes 5, and then Singer only goes 5. So I mean, you're stuck at a point where you're having to get really good hitters out with relievers that are starting to wear down. So, I don't blame that on Ian Jabot. I think that was a usage thing. Like at some point, he's going to need a break. So, or he's going to give up hits. So I mean, it's just one or the other. So, I really don't blame him and the other relievers too. I mean, you can't continually only have your starters go 4 1/3 or 5 and keep running the same relievers out there. It's not, it's not feasible for those guys, and eventually it catches up to you like it did today.
Yeah, I keep joking that Tony Santillan is not going to have an arm come August.
No,
that thing is going to be past his hip, just hanging.
Yep.
Taylor Rogers was really good tonight in his outing, ending at third, a couple strikeouts. Connor Phillips, who I know that the games he's pitched so far, he's getting the results. Definitely feel like he's a little over his head in the moment. He's kind of getting a little lucky there. But tonight has a shutout inning. Does give up a hit. And then, Jason, he's actually on the IL right now. Ashcraft's on the IL.
Yeah,
so
he is hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Brent Suter, another guy who is they're using a lot, and and he's a guy that's in a lot of different situations, right? He's the opener. He's the starter didn't go long enough, so we're putting him in now guy. And so for him to go out there tonight in a game that he probably wasn't all jazzed up to be in, let's be honest, because what the score was.
Yeah.
He just kind of didn't get to what we were used to from him. So, it's hard. Lance kind of talked about this yesterday on his show, Lance McAllister, when he said at some point the bill comes due on the bullpen, and I feel like this was the day the bill just kind of came due.
Oh, 100% it did. And you do. I mean, you have injuries with Graham Ashcraft. Suter's a guy, Santillon's a guy, Jabot's a guy. You didn't even see Pagan because Pagan was used 3 straight days, but even before that. So I think they were talking about that last night. Like he wasn't available last night. It's 7-1 now, so you're not going to put your closer in tonight. So it's hopefully those couple of days help him. But at some point when you use your relievers that much, that chicken comes home to roost. And unfortunately for us, it was tonight. And the Yankees took full advantage.
Yeah, I was kind of looking. I was like, why didn't Scott Barlow go tonight? Totally forgot he threw 19 pitches on Monday. I don't feel like that's a lot, though. I feel like they could have probably used him tonight.
Yeah, they probably could have.
Yeah, he has been.
Then you're going to a series tomorrow. So I mean, if you want to, I guess you're trying to save people. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Scott. We've used you more than you guys are tied to the major league lead in appearances this year.
Right.
Enjoy your day off. All right. Enjoy your 2 days off. Right.
Enjoy a day. Get a popsicle. You're good.
Yeah. Exactly. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate that, man. It's always fun to be on there to fill in for Jeff or fill in for Steve, or sometimes I get to be on with them both, but that's few and far between. All right, Ben. Well, let's go and get to our locked on player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I legit don't know if we have a choice but for it to be Ellie, because Ellie had 2 hits tonight, and that was half the team's hits. He had the team's lone run scored, and didn't strike out tonight. So, a lot of pluses around for Ellie. I'm sorry, he had 3 hits. No, I'm looking at the wrong day. He had 2 hits. Sorry, guys. I got to get my box scores in order. Ellie goes 2 for 4 tonight. Has the lone run scored. Both singles, of course. Santiago Espinal did have a double, but they did nothing with it. Yeah. So, positives, of course, Ellie De La Cruz is he's still hitting the way that he's been hitting for a while now, and it's been really great. Negatives, there was a communication issue there that probably had an unnecessary run be brought into the game. And Barry Larkin on the broadcast kind of said it had to do with something that was communicated to him. I don't necessarily know what happened, but I feel like, it's awesome. Who was it there? It was Ben Rice. That scored there, that second run. It was, it was Ben Rice.
Yeah.
Ben Rice isn't exactly, that was Ellie De La Cruz and speed wise, but he's not even like Jake Fraley of speed. So probably just needs to be a little bit more heads up there. I'm not just going to rip on him. I don't think that's necessarily fair, but because I know everyone just wants to talk about everything he does wrong defensively. But that's something where, just a little bit more heads up has to go there. The defense tonight in general wasn't very good, so it's hard for me to just yell at him. But I do want to see him just be more attentive in that situation.
No, absolutely. I think that's just being a little bit more baseball savvy. Knowing that you got to have a guy on third. And I think in Ellie's mind, when he caught that ball, he was thinking there's no way this guy's going to tag up and run.
Sure.
So he caught it kind of nonchalant, which, it happens. But I understand what Barry Larkin's also saying is that everybody on the field needs to be screaming home, home, home to let him know somebody's going home. So I see both sides of it. Ellie he absolutely has to do a better job of being attentive. What's up, Steve? But also too, his teammates can help him out with, hey man, like home, home, home. Like it was always our rule. Like when you're the cutoff guy, everybody's got to be speaking to you. Because the good point that Barry also made was that when he catches that ball, his back is to home plate. He can't see anything. So you've got to be able to talk to him and say, all right, man, we need to get the ball home, 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 or whatever the call may be. So it's on both ends. A little bit's communication and a little bit's just Ellie being more aware of situations.
Yeah. So we'll get that out of the way, but we'll talk about this before we get out of here because we haven't had many positive things to say. Really liked his at-bats. The hits were nice because I've talked about this quite a bit in the last couple of games. Is he's not just like going out there, like obviously he wants to hit home runs, but he knows Max Fried's not a guy who's susceptible to giving up home runs, and he's just like, let's just put a little bit of blooper in there, have it drop in shallow center. I'll take my base and give us a chance. So I thought both hits were nice. Obviously, you always want Ellie De La Cruz on base, but that last at bat he did pop out, and that wasn't his best. It was probably his worst at bat of the night. Yeah. But no complaints about his offense tonight.
No, and I think if you've noticed his at bats, I would say the last 10 to 12 games, like you can see his approach is changing as his batting average and his contact is starting to go up. You're seeing a lot less swings and misses. He does have the occasional third strike from time to time, but overall, like you can tell that he's really starting to do his homework and research on pitchers. Like tonight, like you said, you're not going to hit the ball. You're not going to hit home runs against Fried. Like you just got to take what he's giving you and take the ball where it's going. And I do think he is changing his approach to he's changing his approach as to who he's going to see from night to night. So as pitchers are adjusting to him, he's also feels like he's adjusting to the pitchers that he's seeing from night in, night out, which is a definite positive for a guy that's 23 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are running over on time, and I do not want people to yell at me, but I want to go ahead and get this one wrapped up. The Cincinnati Reds do unfortunately take the loss tonight to the New York Yankees to fall to 42-39. The Yankees now at 46-34 after their 7-1 victory. The Yankees tonight 7 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. The Cincinnati Reds 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error. Your winning pitcher tonight is Max Fried. He is now 10-2. Your losing pitcher is Brady Singer. He is now 7-6. And tomorrow the Red Reds take a breather. They have the day off before they come home Friday for the San Diego Padres. And Nick Martinez will be taking the ball for the Reds on City Connect Friday. He is 4-8 with a 4.40. He'll be going against Dylan Cease, who is 3-6 with a 4.43. First pitch will be at 7:10, so you'll see me roll by about that 10-15 hour around there. So, Ben, been too long. So happy to see you again, man.
Absolutely.
Be sure, as always, to check us out here on Locked on Reds, but also check out Ben and the crew over at the Riverfront, specifically Sunday nights on Locked on Reds with Ben and Skyler. Skyler's going to join me during one of the Red Sox games as well. So we're out there to kind of give you guys your love and support. Everyone, thank you so much. I'm Tim Daniel. Enjoy the day off tomorrow. I'll see you Friday.